Ethan had always been fascinated by the stars, but nothing in his childhood dreams could have prepared him for this moment. Standing on the edge of the landing platform, he gazed down at the planet below, a place alive with colors he had never seen before. The sky glowed with shades of violet and green, and enormous floating landmasses drifted lazily across the horizon. Strange bioluminescent plants swayed in the wind, their soft lights pulsing like a heartbeat. The air smelled faintly of minerals and rain, and the sound of distant waterfalls carried across the landscape. Ethan adjusted the straps of his exploration suit and took a deep breath. He had spent years studying alien cultures from afar, through images, recordings, and old texts, but now he would meet one in person. The thought thrilled and terrified him in equal measure. Today, he was not just a human observer. He was a guest on a world that had never been fully understood. The shuttle doors opened, and a figure stepped forward. She was taller than any human, with graceful limbs and skin that shimmered in shades of pale blue and silver. Her eyes, large and deep, reflected the soft light around her, and her hair flowed like liquid, shifting color as she moved. She walked with a calm confidence, yet there was a curiosity in her gaze that reminded Ethan of children exploring the world for the first time. "Welcome, human," she said, her voice melodic but carrying an unmistakable authority. Ethan bowed slightly. "Thank you, I am honored to be here." They walked together toward a crystalline structure that served as the center of the alien settlement. The walls shimmered with soft colors, reflecting the sky outside. Inside, the corridors curved in ways that seemed impossible, yet Ethan felt no disorientation. As they walked, Ethan could not help but notice the intricate patterns on Lyra's skin. They were not tattoos but natural markings, flowing like rivers of light across her body. Each movement caused the patterns to shift, creating shapes that seemed almost alive. Ethan tried to remember the research notes he had read, but seeing it in reality was far more beautiful and complex than any description. "Do you like it?" Lyra asked, noticing his fascination. "It's incredible," Ethan admitted. "I have never seen anything like it." Floating images of the planet's landscapes, cities, and even ancient artifacts hovered in the air. He could reach out and touch them, and they would shift, offering more details. "I have brought something with me," Ethan said, reaching into his pack. He pulled out a small, worn photograph and held it carefully. "I thought it might help you remember." She looked at the photograph, her large eyes narrowing as if trying to focus on something buried deep in her memory. The image showed a young child with wide, curious eyes and a small, hesitant smile. Ethan watched closely as recognition slowly dawned in her gaze. Her voice trembled slightly. "Where did you get this?" "I didn't know it was yours. I only thought it might be important to someone someday. I wanted you to see it. They connect us to who we are." Ethan felt the weight of her history pressing gently against the present, and he realized that this was not just a meeting of two beings from different worlds. It was a meeting of memories, of lost time, of shared humanity. "Come," Lyra said finally, slipping the photo into a protective case she carried. "I will show you more. There are places you cannot imagine, stories you have never heard." Lyra led him to a balcony that overlooked a massive valley. Waterfalls cascaded from floating cliffs, feeding rivers that glowed softly with bioluminescent light. Alien wildlife moved gracefully along the streams, and Ethan could see birds with translucent wings gliding through the sky. "This planet has secrets," Lyra said. "Some are ancient, older than we can remember. Others are new, born each day. You must be patient to understand them." Yet amidst all this, his thoughts kept returning to the photograph, to the child in it, and to the realization that Lyra had lived a life that bridged two worlds. "Do you remember Earth?" Ethan asked cautiously. Lyra's expression darkened slightly. "Fragments, faces, sounds, smells, they are like shadows, always just beyond reach. I remember being very small, afraid, and alone. I do not know how I survived, only that I did. They remind us of who we are, and why we must keep moving forward." Ethan marveled at the alien architecture, the seamless blending of nature and technology, and the sophisticated art that seemed to tell stories without words. Lyra explained her people's ways, their history, and their customs, all with a calm patience. Ethan asked questions, and she answered honestly, though always with careful thought. By nightfall, the city was transformed. Soft lights floated in the air like fireflies, and the sky turned a deep indigo. Ethan and Lyra stood on another balcony, looking out over the glowing valley. "Tell me more about your childhood," Ethan said gently, "if you wish to." I do not know why or by whom, only that I woke here among my people and had to learn their ways to survive. I did not forget the earth, but it became a story I could not tell anyone. You have given me a gift I never expected. It was a bridge between worlds, a connection that honored memory, courage, and the simple truth that humanity, its curiosity, empathy, and persistence, could reach across the stars to touch lives in ways even the most advanced alien civilizations could not imagine. And somewhere deep in that connection, in the glow of the floating city and the gentle pulse of alien light, a child's face smiled from a photograph, reminding both of them that the past, no matter how distant, always had the power to change the present. The morning light filtered through the crystalline walls of the city, scattering soft rainbows across the floor. Ethan awoke with a sense of anticipation he had not felt in years. Today, Lyra had promised to take him to a place few humans had ever seen, the heart of her people's history. They met in the central chamber, where holographic displays hovered in the air, showing maps, artifacts, and symbols that shimmered faintly. Lyra was already waiting, her eyes bright with curiosity. She carried the photograph again, this time in a small protective case. She walked gracefully toward Ethan, her every movement smooth and purposeful. "Are you ready?" she asked. Ethan nodded. "I've been ready since yesterday." Each column contained holographic images that seemed to float in midair, showing glimpses of the planet's past, its evolution, its people, and events that shaped its civilization. Ethan could see creatures moving through ancient forests, floating cities being built, and glimpses of alien life adapting in ways he could hardly imagine. "This is our history," Lyra explained. "Every event, every life is recorded here, but some parts are hidden from most. Only those who seek the truth are allowed to see them." The resemblance was uncanny. "Who is this?" he asked, voice barely above a whisper. Lyra's eyes softened and she looked away. "That was me when I first arrived here. I do not remember the journey very well. Some memories were lost, erased to protect me from fear. I was a child, alone in a world I did not understand." "It must have been terrifying. The child you were before you became everything you are now." "You matters." Floating gardens, structures that moved with the wind, and energy sources that seemed alive. It was a civilization both alien and beautiful, far beyond anything humans had achieved, yet somehow deeply connected to the values Ethan knew: curiosity, creativity, and care for life. As they walked, Lyra told him stories in her melodic voice, describing her early experiences on the planet. She spoke of learning their language, understanding their customs, and finding her place among a people who were both familiar and foreign. Ethan listened intently, absorbing every word, every detail, every subtle emotion in her voice. "Did you ever feel lonely?" Ethan asked softly. Lyra paused, considering. "At first, yes, I missed Earth, my family, everything that was mine. But loneliness taught me patience. It taught me to observe, to learn, to adapt. It also made me treasure connection when I found it. Humans, you value connection differently, but your emotions are powerful. They reach places logic cannot. To remind us that memory, emotion, and empathy are not weaknesses, they are strengths." The aliens had visited long ago, observing humanity, leaving traces, yet remaining hidden. "This," Ethan whispered. "You mean your people, they came to Earth?" "Even I did not know the full story until recently. That photograph, the memories you preserve, they are bridges too. I cannot let history remain hidden, not if it can teach us something important." The room was dim, lit by soft, glowing panels that reacted to movement. Ethan's eyes widened as he saw the records, scrolls, crystals, and holographic projections that contained centuries of knowledge. "This is incredible," Ethan whispered. "These archives, they hold everything your people know about themselves, about us, everything. You must prove your intent. Only then will the archives reveal their secrets." "So humans were part of this network all along," Ethan said, amazement in his voice. "We just didn't know it. You must see the world through our eyes, as I have learned to see yours." It showed a small human child, alone in a room filled with strange machinery. Ethan's stomach tightened. It was a scene from the past he had only glimpsed through the photograph. "That is me," Lyra whispered, her voice trembling. "Taken from Earth. I do not remember everything, but I remember fear and I remember hope. I remember that someone must have cared for me, even if I could not see them. That is why you matter. We will continue tomorrow. There is more to see, more to learn, but now, rest. The journey is just beginning and you must be ready." He realized that the child in the photograph, Lyra, and even himself were part of a story much larger than any one life, a story of connection, memory, and the power of humanity to reach across the stars. As he lay down to rest, he thought of the photograph once more. The child's smile, small and fragile, had survived time, distance, and species. And now, in the glow of an alien world, that smile had begun to guide the path forward, for Lyra, for humans, and for the bond between them. Tomorrow would bring new discoveries, new challenges, and new memories to uncover. But tonight, Ethan felt a quiet certainty. Some connections are too strong to be broken, and some memories are too precious to be forgotten. And in this vast, vibrant universe, humanity had proven again that empathy, curiosity, and courage could touch even the most distant stars. The next morning, Ethan awoke to a soft glow filling the crystalline city. The light was different today, warmer, almost alive, as if the planet itself sensed the urgency of their mission. He packed his belongings quickly, knowing Lyra would meet him at the central chamber soon. He could feel that something significant was about to happen. When he arrived, Lyra was already there, standing beside a holographic map that pulsed faintly with life. Her expression was serious, more intense than he had seen before. Her eyes glimmered as she turned to him. "Today," she said, her voice steady, "we will go deeper. You have seen our history, our archives, but there is a part of my life and of our past that is hidden even from most of us. I must show you, but it will not be easy. I want to know everything I can." It was clear that not everyone trusted him, or perhaps trusted humans. They reached a large door embedded in a wall of iridescent crystal. Lyra touched a small symbol on the surface, and the door shimmered, then disappeared, revealing a narrow corridor filled with soft, green light. Ethan followed her cautiously, feeling as though they were stepping into another world entirely. "This area," Lyra explained, "is rarely visited. It contains records and places that even many of my people do not know. Some knowledge is protected for reasons of safety and secrecy." The corridor opened into a vast chamber. The walls were lined with crystalline structures, each containing glowing symbols and holographic projections. Ethan could see scenes of alien history, great battles, moments of peace, discoveries, and tragedies, but some of the projections were different. They showed humans, small and fragile, moving among alien cities centuries ago. Ethan's eyes widened. "Your people visited Earth long before recorded history," he whispered. "Yes," Lyra said softly. "Some humans were taken, some observed, many stories were erased. Fear and misunderstanding have hidden much, but it is time you saw the truth." As they approached, a holographic projection activated, showing a young child in a small, dimly lit room, Lyra's childhood on Earth. Ethan's stomach tightened as he saw the child's face, so familiar yet so fragile. He reached out instinctively, though the image floated just out of reach. "That child," Ethan whispered, "it's you." "I remember only fragments, faces, voices, smells, fear, and hope. I did not understand why I was taken or what would happen next. I only knew I had to survive. Memories, artifacts, signs that someone somewhere would remember me. Memory is not just a record of the past, it is proof that life matters, that even in darkness hope exists. Then let us move forward together. There is more to see, more to understand. You and I, we can uncover it all. But I am ready to face whatever comes, as long as you are with me." Humanity and Lyra's people had crossed paths before, but their interactions had been hidden, erased, or forgotten. "This is why your photograph is so important," Lyra said. "It connects the past to the present. It reminds us that the threads of memory of life cannot be broken even across worlds. Step by step, we will uncover the truth." "This council," Ethan said, studying the projection, "they debated humans, they feared us. Show them that humans can be allies, that we can strengthen, not weaken, their society." The air felt heavier here, charged with history and meaning. Ethan could sense the weight of knowledge pressing against him, almost as if the room itself was alive. Lyra activated a projection, revealing a scene of her early life among her people. She had grown taller, stronger, more confident, yet a faint trace of the child she once was remained in her posture, her expressions, and even the way she moved. Ethan felt a deep connection to her, seeing the continuity of her life, the bridge between the child in the photograph and the being standing before him now. "This is who I became," Lyra said softly. "And yet the child I once was still exists, hidden but not lost. You remind me of her and of what was taken and preserved. There is more to see, more to understand, and some truths may challenge what you believe. Are you ready for that? I will face anything, as long as we do it together. As night fell over the city, Ethan and Lyra returned to a balcony overlooking the glowing valley. The floating gardens shimmered under the soft light, and alien creatures moved gracefully through the air. Ethan could feel the weight of the day pressing on him, but also the exhilaration of discovery. Tomorrow, Lyra said, her voice calm but firm, we will go beyond the archives. There is a place deep within our city that holds knowledge even more ancient. Knowledge that may explain why humans and my people have always been connected. But it is dangerous. Not all wish for this truth to be revealed. I trust you, human, and now I think perhaps the past and the present can finally meet. Perhaps the child in your photograph can find her place in both worlds. Humanity, with its curiosity, empathy, and persistence, had once again reached across the stars, touching a life in a way that no advanced technology could replicate. And in that connection, in the shared pursuit of truth and understanding, both worlds, human and alien, had taken the first step toward something greater. For Ethan and Lyra, the journey was far from over. But with courage, memory, and trust, they were beginning to uncover a story that would unite not just one life, but two species across time and space. And somewhere deep in the luminous city, the child in the photograph smiled, knowing that she was remembered, valued, and no longer alone. The city was quieter than usual that morning. Ethan noticed it immediately as he stepped onto the glowing pathways. The usual hum of activity was subdued, almost tense. Lyra was waiting for him, her expression serious. Something is wrong, she said softly. Some in the council have learned that we explored the hidden archives yesterday. They do not trust you, and they fear what you may discover next. Then we must be cautious, but we cannot stop, not now. Some were curious, others wary, and a few openly avoided them. Ethan could feel the weight of the council's scrutiny pressing on them. Finally, they reached a massive structure at the edge of the city. The walls shimmered with iridescent light, and enormous doors bore intricate patterns that seemed to shift subtly as Ethan approached. Lyra paused. This is the Hall of Truth, she said. It contains knowledge so ancient that most of my people fear it. Only the bravest or the most desperate dare enter. Are you ready? The air was warmer here, and Ethan felt a strange, tingling sensation, as though the building itself was alive. They entered a vast chamber, its walls lined with crystalline structures and floating holographic symbols. Ethan's eyes widened as he took in the sight. The projections showed centuries of history, wars, alliances, discoveries, and interactions between humans and Lyra's people. Much of this has been hidden, Lyra explained. My council feared that humans, with their curiosity and emotions, might disrupt our society if they knew the full truth. But now, you have the right to see it. The humans were unaware, living their lives, yet every action was recorded. Ethan felt a mixture of awe and sadness. They were studying us, he whispered. Yes, Lyra said softly. And some were brought here like me. The goal was never to harm, but to preserve knowledge, to build a bridge between worlds. Fear, misunderstanding, and secrecy changed everything. Many records were lost, and the truth became buried. They fear humans. Some showed images of Lyra as a child, others depicted ancient artifacts and rituals. Ethan tried to memorize everything, knowing it could be crucial for understanding her past. They reached a narrow staircase leading to a smaller, more secure chamber. Lyra pressed her hand against a symbol, and the doors sealed behind them. Ethan leaned against the wall, catching his breath. They will try to stop us, Lyra said. Some will use force, others will try to persuade you to leave. Do not be afraid, we must face them together. You are trespassing, the hologram said. Humans are not welcome in this chamber. Your curiosity endangers our society. We are here to learn, to remember, and to honor both our peoples. We must face the truth together. You cannot take this knowledge, one of the guards said. It is forbidden. Fear of the unknown should not dictate our actions. Humans and aliens can coexist, learn from one another, and honor the past together. Enough, she said. You have courage, human, but you also carry recklessness. Knowledge is precious and fear protects it. Why should we allow you to see what has been hidden for centuries? Humanity's curiosity, our empathy, and our courage can strengthen your society, not weaken it. You may continue, but know this, the path you have chosen is dangerous. Not all will accept it. Some may try to stop you at every turn. You must prove that your intentions are pure and that humanity's values are worthy of trust. There is more to see, more to learn, and more connections to uncover. We must move quickly before others intervene. It was clear that humans had always played a hidden but important role in shaping this civilization. Lyra explained the significance of each record, her voice filled with both pride and sadness. These humans, she said, were brave, curious, and full of compassion. They carried hope and memory, even in a world that did not understand them. That is why you matter, Ethan. You carry the same qualities. The floating gardens shimmered, and alien creatures moved gracefully through the air. Ethan and Lyra stood side by side, watching the lights dance in the darkness. Tomorrow, Lyra said softly, we will leave the city to explore the places where these events first began. There are locations that hold the keys to understanding the connection between humans and my people, but it will be dangerous. Some may still oppose us. Then we will make sure she finds her place in both worlds. Step by step, we will uncover the truth and honor it. And in that connection, in the pursuit of knowledge and understanding, they were beginning to build something that could unite not just one life, but two species across time and space. The city shimmered beneath them, alive with history, memory, and possibility. Ethan felt the weight of responsibility pressing on him, but also the thrill of discovery. Together with Lyra, he would continue the journey, face the dangers ahead, and ensure that the past, no matter how distant, would guide the future. For in the end, memory and courage were stronger than fear. And with them, humans and aliens could finally learn to walk together among the stars. The next day, the city felt alive in a way that was different from before. The usual glow of the pathways was brighter, as if the planet itself sensed the importance of what was about to happen. Ethan and Lyra moved through the city together, their steps steady, hearts determined. Today, they would face the council again, and this time they would do more than explain. They would show the value of connection, trust, and understanding between humans and Lyra's people. Lyra led Ethan through the side paths, avoiding the main thoroughfares. Some citizens watched them silently, curiosity shining in their eyes. Others turned away, wary or suspicious. Ethan noticed subtle gestures of caution from some guards as they passed. It was clear that the council's reach extended far and that not everyone trusted him, but he did not falter. They reached the Hall of Assembly, a massive structure that rose above the city like a crystal mountain. The doors were enormous, adorned with intricate patterns that shimmered in sunlight. Lyra placed her hand on a symbol, and the doors opened silently, revealing the grand interior. Inside, the council awaited. Aliens of all ages and ranks stood in a semicircle, their expressions ranging from stern to curious. At the center stood the senior council member, her gaze sharp and assessing. She had authority in every movement, and Ethan could feel the weight of her presence. "Lyra," she said, her voice calm but commanding, "you return. And you bring the human." "I bring proof," Ethan said clearly, stepping forward. "Proof that humans and your people have always been connected, that we can share knowledge, empathy, and understanding without causing harm. That history, when preserved, strengthens both our species." The senior council member raised a hand and silence fell. "Show us," she said. Lyra activated a projection in the center of the chamber. Holographic images floated in the air, showing centuries of history. Humans being observed, some brought to Lyra's world, interactions recorded and lives documented. Ethan pointed to scenes of humans helping, learning, and contributing to the alien society in ways that had been long forgotten. "These humans," Ethan said, "were brave, curious, and full of empathy. They carried memory and knowledge across worlds, preserving what mattered. And they teach us that curiosity is not weakness, but strength. But humans do not seek to dominate. They seek to understand, to connect, and to preserve life. We have shared more than we realized, and now it is time to embrace that history, not hide from it." Their emotions can disrupt order. Some members nodded, others remained hesitant. The tension was thick, but Ethan could feel the weight of possibility pressing forward. Lyra stepped closer to the projection of her childhood, holding the photograph gently. "This child," she said softly, "represents the bridge between our worlds. The past and present meet in her. And through her, humans and my people can finally understand each other. We will allow this to continue, but understand this, trust must be earned. Actions, not words, will determine whether humanity and our people can walk together. We will explore the locations where these events began, uncover the truths hidden in our world, and show that connection, empathy, and memory can unite us, rather than divide us." Lyra led Ethan to a hidden clearing, a place few humans or even aliens had ever seen. Ancient trees rose high into the sky, their branches intertwined with glowing crystal formations. Small streams ran between them, their waters shimmering in the soft light. "This is where it began," Lyra said. "Where humans were first brought, where connections were first made, and where memories were preserved. This land has witnessed joy, sorrow, and hope across centuries. You can feel it if you are patient. Life preserved even across time and space." Each discovery revealed more of the hidden history between humans and Lyra's people. Ethan was amazed at how deeply intertwined their pasts were, and how much had been preserved, waiting for someone to remember. As the sun set, painting the sky in shades of violet and gold, Ethan and Lyra returned to the city. The council members had gathered once again, waiting to see the results of their exploration. Ethan held the photograph firmly, knowing that this simple image had helped bridge centuries of misunderstanding and fear. Lyra stepped forward. "We have seen the places where our histories met, the moments that shaped our connection. Humans and aliens have shared more than we realized. And now we must decide how to move forward together." Lyra smiled, her eyes glowing softly. "Then we begin a new chapter," she said. "One where humans and my people can learn from each other, share knowledge, and preserve history together. That the past continues to guide the future, and that connection between worlds remains strong. You have proven that humans can be trusted, that our worlds can walk together. And now I understand something important. I am both of my worlds, the child I once was and the being I have become. I do not have to choose. I can honor both, and through that, help others understand the value of memory, connection, and courage. Humans and aliens, past and present, memory and hope, all of it connected. Humanity's curiosity, empathy, and courage had reached across the stars once more, bridging worlds, preserving history, and creating a future where understanding and connection were possible. Lyra held the photograph one last time, smiling softly. "The child is remembered," she said, "and the future is ours to build together." And through that strength, they had changed not only one life, but an entire civilization, across time, space, and memory. And somewhere deep in the glow of the city, the child in the photograph smiled, knowing that she was remembered, valued, and part of a story that would endure across worlds.